What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, it is appreciated. So I'm sure you can tell by today's title, but today we are spray painting one of my vehicles, and the vehicle that we are spray painting is my Nissan Pathfinder. So really excited about doing this. I have wanted to completely spray paint a car for years now. I've been stockpiling the color for this car just because it's a little hard to find for the past couple months, but I finally think I have enough cans. I had the day off, everything is good to go, so we're gonna go ahead and get started to get this project done. Now, this is going to be a bit of a process. One, we are going to have to sand everything down, get it prepped for paint, and then of course prime and spray it. I believe I have enough cans to spray paint. I got 5 cans. This is the color I am going to be doing. It is a sand color. As it's my off-road build, I thought the sand with some black accents would look really good, so that is the plan. So this video is probably going to take place over a couple of days just because it is obviously going to be a bit of a long process, but I'm going to go ahead and take the battery out of one of the other cars, put it in the Pathfinder, move it over here, and we can start sanding it and getting that taken care of. And Jonathan has stopped by once again to help me with my project, as well as he's got some painting to do on his car. Okay, so Pathfinder's all pulled up. Sadly, it is going to be in the sun for a little bit just because right now Jonathan is getting his hood and bumper prepped for paint. Of course, make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel to see the process of all this coming together. But for right now that that's up, I'm going to go ahead and get started on sanding this thing down. I would have liked to use a higher grit sandpaper, but the best I can find to work with my sander for today was 120 grit. Still relatively confident that this will be fine. Hopefully get this all prepped and ready to go within a couple hours, an hour or so, and then we can start priming it. So Pathfinder is all the way sanded. Honestly, didn't take us too long at all. Maybe took us an hour, like from start to finish. So not bad considering it being an SUV and everything. I honestly thought it was going to take us like 2 hours to prep, and that by itself is going to take a whole day. So that's nice. But I have moved it to the side so I can go ahead and rinse it down and dry it off. Not sure how far we're going to get with this today just because it is starting to get cloudy, which is nice because the sun was beating down on us, but at the same time I think it's supposed to rain in the next few hours. So a little worried about that just because I don't want this to get rained on now that it doesn't have a clear coat on it and it just rust immediately. But I'm going to rinse it down, dry it off immediately, and then hopefully we can get a couple coats of primer on it so I don't have to worry about it as much. So car is all clean. Next step is to tape everything off that we are not going to be priming and painting. Also, just a little bit of fun information for you there. I am pretty sure that is the first time I have washed this car since I have owned it, as crazy as that is. But just goes to show you that this is my beater vehicle. I still love it, just never really saw the point of washing it. So yeah.
You guys take care.
So for right now, this is our stopping point. Pathfinder looks a little dumb, but I had to drape some towels and stuff over it just to keep the tape that we put on it safe, because again, it is supposed to rain tonight. I think it's not a 100% thing, but just to be safe, we put the canopy over it, draped some towels over some of the taped spots, so that way we don't have to redo all of the tape work that we just did, as taping the car down is super annoying. But for right now, I'm going to leave it at a stopping point, and I will pick the camera back up possibly tomorrow, if not sometime through this week, whenever this project continues again. So windows blocked off, this little girl part's blocked off. For the most part, it's all taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and start with the hood, the front, this whole side, and then I will go ahead and take care of the back and the other side later. And I'll go ahead and spray all this down, see how many cans of primer I am going to use just for that, and see if I even have enough primer and paint to get it in. Okay, 2 cans of primer down. Car is pretty much all the way primed as far as like the whole car being primed. Coverage wise, there are still spots that can be touched up again. So I do have one more can of primer that I'm gonna hit this with, and then hopefully that'll cover up most of these black spots. So priming is officially done. It actually took 2 more cans, so 4 cans of primer altogether, but pretty happy with how it looks. I think we might actually try and hit it with 1 can of the actual paint just to get it started, and then we can finish at least the tan part tomorrow. All right, let's go ahead and start spraying this and hope it works out okay. So 2 cans of paint done. For some reason the hood has a hard time taking the paint, so that's going to be the problem child when doing this, but there's some on the hood. This fender I sprayed pretty decently. For this side I just kind of wanted to get at least a small base coat going, so I did that. It doesn't look too bad at all. Pretty happy with how the color is coming out so far. And somehow this guy had the extended mag freaking paint can, I guess, because he got a lot more out of his paint can when painting his side. So Jonathan took care of this side. I don't know if you can see it too well, but it's laid on there pretty dang good with 1 can, and he pretty much did this entire side, which is nice because we really won't have to worry about it. I mean, it honestly looks really good over here. That can, okay. You did a good job. There's a couple spots that still need to be touched up, but for the most part, this side's good, which is nice as I only have 3 cans left. But when I pick it back up tomorrow, we will go ahead and spray the back. We'll respray this side, touch up the other side where it needs to, hopefully get the hood taken care of. Hopefully with the other 3 cans of paint I have, it'll be a thick enough coat to look good. So the journey continues, but happy with how it's coming out so far. Okay, currently day 2, Jonathan has come back to help. So little discovery. 5 cans definitely wasn't enough. Just so you guys know, again, I'm going to try and keep track of how many cans I'm using for everything, so you guys know if you ever want to spray paint a vehicle yourself. So this is what 5 cans of spray paint look like on a car. For the most part, it is entirely covered and it doesn't look bad at all. But there are spots, I'm not sure if you can see on camera, but there are spots on here that are noticeable that can use some extra paint. I just want it to look the best that it can. Doesn't need to be perfect as it is my beater in an off-road vehicle, but I also don't want it to look like crap. So I think I'm going to go buy 2 more cans of the actual paint, and then I do need a couple cans of black for some of the black accents, as well as about 2 cans of clear. Then for the most part, I should have enough paint to finish painting the car. I do have some wheel paint in the garage. Hopefully it's enough for what I need to do for those. It's coming together. Just gotta go grab some more supplies and then we can continue this process. So it has been a couple of days since I last picked up the camera, but the Pathfinder is all finished. The tan's all done, the black's all done. There is definitely some spots where some paint got sprayed in spots that I didn't want it to. So it's definitely not perfect. Sadly, that was mainly just because I didn't have enough painter's tape, but I'm still really happy with how it came out. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you how it came out. So all in all, not bad. I'm pretty happy with how it came out and with the amount of work and everything that was needed to be done. Honestly, it wasn't that bad of an experience. Obviously, the most annoying and time-consuming part is taping everything off. Honestly, the sanding didn't take long, was pretty simple. Taping everything off is annoying, and of course, making sure it's all taped properly so that you don't get overspray is a bit of an issue. But other than that, spray painting as a whole isn't too bad. It's not going to look, of course, as clean as you necessarily wanted to, or as like a professional paint job will. So altogether, I needed about 3 rolls of painter's tape, 3 cans of primer, 7 cans of actual spray paint and 2 cans of gloss. And again, I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Once you get up close, you can see some of the lines. Again, it's not perfect. I'm not too worried about it, off-roading with it. But for the most part, I'm pretty dang happy with it as a whole. It is a bit textured and rugged. I did my best to make it not so. Probably could have sanded it with like really high grit sandpaper to smooth it out and not have like the little bumps or texture in it. But I kind of like it with it being an off-road vehicle. It being textured, rugged, seems like something that, you know, you can actually beat up on. So really happy with how it came out. But all in all, still a handful of stuff I want to get done to this. But now that it's painted and the suspension's done, probably try and take it off-roading here within the next couple weeks and have a video of that for you guys. It seems like based on the last Pathfinder video, a lot of my subscribers don't care too much about the off-road stuff, which is fine. But off-roading is something that I enjoy. All types of driving I love, and I'm really good at driving on dirt. So I definitely do want to make at least a couple videos for off-roading content. So if you don't like that, then by all means, you don't have to watch them. But I do appreciate you guys that are clicking on those videos, watching, and just supporting the channel as a whole. With that being said, though, I will go ahead and leave you guys alone. If you have any questions at all, always, of course, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I will respond to all comments. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.